For more analysis, let's bring in Remi Piet, senior partner with Embellie Advisory. Always great to have you with us, Remi.
Hi, Elaine.
First, I want to get your reaction to OPEC Plus releasing more barrels. As we heard, there are no changes or immediate price drops yet, or even expected soon. Is this more of a political move?
Well, it is a very interesting decision here if you actually analyze in details. I mean, indeed, it's actually quite a surge compared to what was agreed in a previous meeting from 430,000 barrels a day to 650, so it's increased by 50%. It's very true that some OPEC members already have troubles, being able to reach their production targets. That's the case of Angola and Nigeria. Obviously, Russia, for different reasons now, not being able to produce as much as that they would want for European countries. But it still opens the opportunity for three main countries that do have leeway in terms of more production when we're looking at OPEC country, whether you're talking about the Emirates, Iraq, or Saudi Arabia, to actually increase their own part of the production. So that means that some more oil is going to be on the market, and there should be some reduction of the price hike on energy market. It's still a drop in the bucket, obviously, compared to the key sacrifice that European countries and others have done by just shutting down imports from Russian oil. It will not compensate for the entirety of this oil, but it should be also quite a signal that Saudi Arabia does not completely align with the Russian positions here in terms of energy. If not, it would have stayed to 430,000 barrels, and instead actually quite is able to find ways to both continue on this relation with Russia, but also content the request from the United States and other countries to increase their own production. So that is a mitigated result, but that actually should be interesting to see the impact it will have in a mid-run on energy prices.
We also heard in our story the issue of demand. What do you think we see as Asia continues to open up?
Well, that's actually, yes, indeed, some clear signal that demands should actually increase also. I mean, good news on the Chinese front from the fight against the pandemics. Other countries potentially picking up in terms of production or demands of energy because of economic relatively good news. And so this actually indeed has a strong impact on prices, especially because the Russian oil that will be now under embargo for European countries. That's 90% of the Russian oil that was exported to Europe is not easily transposable to other markets. I mean, you don't simply just turn around the key of a pipeline for it to flow on the other direction or be able to reroute some production that were on a very specific type of crude or type of oil to other countries. And so that means that there will be some demands from still unmet and clear demands of impacts on prices, but an impact on Russia that will be actually quite more important than some might have thought. Up to $70 billion up to recent analysis a year on the impact for Russia. That was what represented the export to Europe. That's 5% of the global GDP of Russia. So it's not a news or a decision which is taking lightheartedly by the Kremlin today.
You mentioned Saudi Arabia, Remi. There are reports that U.S. President Joe Biden will pay a visit to the kingdom a few weeks from now. What do you make of the timing of that? And will in-person diplomacy make a difference?
Well, Saudi Arabia plays a key role, obviously, in terms of energy security, especially under the current circumstances. It's a traditional partner of the United States for different reasons and historical roots, but obviously has the power now to kind of produce more energy and therefore facilitate the effort from the United States to limit the impact of prices and the impact at the gas pump for consumers. In the case of Saudi Arabia, the strategy is indeed to also ramp up the value of that production, and you see an increase in production of refinery capacities, not exporting only simple crude, but actually increasing the value of their exports to gain and diversify their economy. So I think here the key elements between the conversation between Mohammed bin Salman on one side and President Biden for an upcoming visit will be a question of technological partnership between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia to allow Saudi to move forward in terms of their increase of quality of economy and export, and also answer the needs from the United States to have more oil and quality oil being produced to offset the production from Russia. So it's a very important meeting that is about to take place, of trying to see exactly where, in terms of the geopolitical shift, where the the arrow will point if Saudi Arabia will actually turn towards being more conciliant towards demands from Western countries for better and higher level of production, and also kind of turn its back to support President Putin today.
Yeah, midterm elections in the U.S. a few months away. Very quickly, about 30 seconds left, want to ask you more about the latest EU ban on Russian oil imports by the end of this year. Russia says it'll just find other importers.
Well, as I was saying, first of all, it's a key decision. I mean, 3 countries got some exemption, whether it's Hungary, Czech Republic, Slovakia, but they just represent 10% of the imports from the EU. So it's a clear move of 90% embargo here. In terms of the Kremlin position saying they will just shift the production, it's more of rhetoric and propaganda. In truth, as I was saying, it's very complex to be able to find new export markets for some crude oil that has been targeted in terms of quality, in terms of the infrastructure in place to specific markets. So you can't just shift it to Asia, for example. And when Russia has to do this, he has to do it with a significant discount in terms of prices. So even if prices are high, there's still an impact on the Russian economy down the road.